All right. So I want to give you probably one of the best and strongest piece of advice I could give you right now. If you are a young man, if you are in any position like I was when I was a kid, when I was younger, I say a kid, but this was like 2 years ago. I was still an adult. I was still like over the age of 18. But it was essentially, it's the idea that you have to allow your body and your mind to change over time. It's the idea that nothing happens overnight. Nothing you can grow or is worth growing comes so fast that it's just like it's so easy. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it, right? I want to give you this story that I heard, or like I was in the gym today. Actually, yeah, I was just in the gym today, and I was doing my chest and back workout. I think I had just done incline dumbbells, and I was doing 50s, which is like kind of strong for me. That's like my max, but I don't max it very much. It's just what I like to do. So I do 50s. I do my like 15 reps. I put it down. And I'm like, okay, I stand up, I start walking around, I'm like pacing around the gym a little bit, hyping myself up. At this point, I'm not listening to music at this point because I'm kind of on a music fast right now. It's just like what I've been doing. Because I think that music is a way to drown out your thoughts a lot of times, and I want to be really one with my thoughts right now. So like I was like grinding out I was like pacing around like feeling good, and my friend, this dude, this older gentleman, he's like he's probably like in his late 50s, mid early 50s, I think. We talk his name is I'm not gonna say his name actually, but he's a good guy. I've met him in that gym before, and he's actually like a professional bodybuilder. He won first place in a competition here in Barbados, and like he showed me a picture. He was like sprayed proper spray tanned up. He looked really good. I mean, he was like jacked. And I think I went up to him a couple days ago, and I asked him, I was like, bro, you are jacked. Like what do you do? Like, do you have a secret? Like, I know no one has a secret, but I was just telling him, I was what do you do? Like, how long you been working out, stuff like that. And we had a really nice conversation. It kind of moved into a conversation about testosterone and about like he's not enhanced. I mean, he's not natural. He's a little enhanced, which there's nothing wrong with a little bit of TRT, I think. But like he was also on like Masteron and Winstrol and like all of these like actual like literally like steroids. Like these are like the when people say steroids, that's what people are saying. That's what people are talking about. And once I heard that, I was like, wow, like this guy's done it all. And he was telling me, he was like, yeah, like there's some real side effects. You get some real. I don't know if you can hear this rain. It's pretty loud. I don't know if it'll come through on the mic, but he's saying like, yeah, you get some real side effects from all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, like I can imagine. Like he was definitely telling me like to stay away from that. But he was also I was also like curious because I was like, a lot of teenagers nowadays, especially women, especially teenage guys nowadays, they have very low testosterone because of stuff like microplastic. Just if you don't know about this, get a little educated because I think it's really interesting. So I like just learning about it. But um, so I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like a low dose of TRT may help be helpful for a lot of people like in their early 30s, late 30s, who are like really on the low side of the testosterone. So like for me, this would be like in 10 years, whatever. If I ever hop on, maybe I'll tell you, maybe I won't. I don't know. I doubt I will. At least not for a while, but maybe one day. I don't know. No one knows what's in the future. This guy was there in the gym. Let me move back. This guy was there in the gym, and he's looking ripped or whatever. And he came up to me, and I was like, "Hey, bro, what's up, Mister X?" I'm just gonna call him like John, Mister John. I say, "Hey, what's up, Mister John?" Fist bump. He's like, "Bro," he's like, "Hey, Rohan." He's like, "Bro, and he shows me his bicep, and there's a huge bruise running like right here." And I was like, "Dude, what happened?" He told me he tore his bicep. He like moved down. He moved his arm down, and the bicep just ripped. And I was like, dude, that's fucked. So that's right. That right there is literally the reason not to do steroids. I mean, again, nothing against this guy. I love this guy, but like that right there is the reason. Don't do steroids, brother. Because that could happen, and that kind of gave me the idea. Like, dude, your mind and your body adapt so much slower than other things, and like then I guess your body adapts so much slower to your mind in that sense. But the reason I thought that was because your muscles adapt so much faster than your tendons. Your tendons aren't used to, even though your muscles are growing and are strong enough to hold all this weight, your tendons aren't strong enough yet. So they rupture, they break because they don't have all the strength that comes incrementally through time. So it takes time for your body and your mind to adjust. It takes time. It's not easy. It's not easy. It takes time for your mind to adjust, and then it takes even more time for your body to adjust to that. Anything that's worth doing takes a little bit of time. The big thing here. So I want to talk about this idea of like newbie gains. This is so popular, but it's not just for the gym. People constantly talk about it in the gym, but it's not just about the gym. It's actually about so many other things as well. It's the idea that sure, like when you're young and you first go to the gym, you get hella gains really fast because you haven't been going to the gym at all ever. So when you start going to the gym, you immediately put on muscle because it's like the first time you're actually in the gym. And then later, in like after like a year, it's very slow to put on that same amount of muscle. It takes almost 4 times to 5 times the amount of time if you're not enhanced, of course, because you have these things called newbie gains. Newbie gains is also applicable to journaling and meditation and study and all this stuff. Because when you first start, you notice this small difference in the way things are going. When you first meditate, the first time you ever meditate, if it's like for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever, the first time, I guarantee you feel like, whoa. You stop and you're like, whoa. Like I feel so like calm and like aware of my surrounding. It's unreal. That's what you feel when you first start meditating. That's how it is. And that's like the new begins for meditation. When we first start journaling, after like a day, a couple of days, you're like, oh, I'm so much more in tune with my thoughts. That's the new gains of journaling. When you first start doing anything, you get some new gains. You get some of the idea like oh yeah, like look at all this work I'm doing. Like I'm putting in all this effort and this consistency. Like this is very, very good. Like look at all of this that I'm doing. Look at the like when you first start taking vitamin D3 and zinc for your testosterone, you notice that you feel more you feel like you have more testosterone. You feel like your voice is a little deeper. You feel like you have a little bit more power and like confidence, and like your like energy levels are higher. You feel more clear headed. That's the new gains, and that does go away a little bit because you either get used to it or the effect just isn't as strong as it used to be. It does kind of go away, but those are the newbie gains. So it's easy when you first start to get these newbie gains and to think, oh yeah, I'm a fucking badass. Like look at me, I'm doing all this, and quickly those gains will slow down or they might go away entirely, and then you're left like, huh, like where am I now? That's where the idea that the whole point of this video comes in, because it takes time for everything to adapt. Once you get past the newbie gain stage, then you get into the real gain stage. That's when you get into the phase of the actual like life and improvement where it's real. After a couple of years lifting, you're gonna look very different than after the newbie gains, of course, but it's gonna be like more real gains. You're actually gonna look big and jacked. You are actually gonna look lean. Like I've been super lean before, to where I could see my six pack and everything. I looked really pretty good. I saw that, and I was very happy with how I looked. But that wasn't newbie gains. That was very strict dieting and working out and running and staying very strict with myself on all these aspects. Sleep as well was one big thing. Supplements was a big thing. I was staying so disciplined on this stuff. That's the real gains, and that takes time. Your mind, you can be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna get all this money. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get jacked. I'm gonna do this. That's very possible. You can think that in your mind. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get super lean. Boom, done. That's affirmation. You've just said that. You're manifesting it. Good. I'm not saying don't do that. Good. But your body takes some time to adjust and to actually go into that. I remember when I didn't have a six pack at all before, I used to say, oh yeah, I love my six pack. Because like I heard that just after affirming it like that will like manifest it. And it did in a way. It did manifest it. Because soon I was actually seeing my six pack in the mirror and stuff. And I was like, whoa. I was like, dang, Rohan, like shit. Like you're looking kind of fucking lean today, bro. Like awesome. It was cool. But that takes time. It's not like an instant thing where you just boom. And that brings us to the whole stance of instant gratification. At this point, it's very easy, and everybody knows the idea of instant gratification versus delayed gratification because it's permeating. It's so mainstream now. The idea that, oh yeah, you have to, instead of just doing one thing and like getting instantly gratified from it, like eating a bunch of sugar or watching some porn, you wait. You work out one day and then you only see the results a week, 2 weeks, a month from then, when you actually see muscle gain. That's delayed gratification. That's the much better version of gratification. Look, actually, look here on my wall. You can see it right now on my whiteboard. I have a bunch of I have a bunch of habits that check off in a habit tracker. Not all of them are checked, but like I saw 95% of the boxes are checked. And like that, this is the biggest form of delayed gratification. I meditate, I journal, I study, I go to the gym, I do cold showers, I wake up on time or slash early, I read, I do my language learning, Duolingo, I do my bedtime routine, which includes supplements, Rogaine, all this stuff. That is the ultimate form of delayed gratification. That's what keeps me happy, a sense of like a sense of pride because I've done something with my day, and just oh yeah, like yeah, I did something. Like I'm not worthless, because sometimes that's what you need when you're in the deepest. Bro, trust me, I know. If you're thinking this, I know what you're thinking right now. I've been there, dude. I've been at the lowest low ever. I've been so low that I was diagnosed with like some. I was almost prescribed antidepressants and it was a whole thing, bro. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And around junior year of college, I had a huge mental breakdown. Everything was falling apart in my life. I had to really reevaluate from the ground up, and I come back much stronger. But that is the ultimate form of delayed gratification. When all that happened, I went home and I had to reconsider. I had to reconsider everything, and I had to start putting actions in place to delay my gratification. I'm in medical school. That is also an ultimate form of delayed gratification. I'm putting all this work in now, so that in 8 years, I can start practicing as a doctor and being a doctor. What the heck? Who does that? That's so like that's unbelievably delayed gratification. That's such like a investment in your time, but it's worth doing. And anything that's but it's worth doing and it takes time. And like I said, anything that is worth doing is not easy. Anything that is worth doing takes time and effort and energy and consistency. And then you'll see the results. Then you will see Rohan Sankar, MD. That day is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna put it on my main channel. There'll be a video on there about that for sure. In like what 2.5 years, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be one of the best things ever. It's gonna be awesome. A big thing I have to say is when you are in a position of working and trying to be a better version of yourself, and the results are like slow and they're not coming yet. Like I said, it takes time. Give it time to grow. um, but you at the same time you want to allow yourself to really process the growth. You can't just will things into you can actually you can will things into existence, but you can't expect it to always work out in your favor if you're not putting a lot of effort in to make that to get that to happen. You know, you have to allow yourself to process these changes, and this can be a lot of things that I preach. Right, the goal journaling. I preach goal journaling, man. I'm telling you, when you journal about your goals. Write down like the things that you are want to accomplish in the day. Write down how your day was, the thing you want to accomplish in the day, the way that the way that what you're grateful for. I got this from another YouTuber. He's hugely appreciates it. What you're grateful for, that's so important. What you've done, what your goals are throughout the day, what you've done in the day, whatever the case is, write those things down, because the goal journaling is what will take you to these next heights. That's what will bring you to the case where you're like, oh yeah, like I have all these goals I want to accomplish, and I'm going to accomplish them, and I'm going to do them, and I have done them. Because look at what I've done so far. This is what I'll do in the future. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm gonna do a 20 block of questions today, and really learn from every question. If you're like a medical student, I'm gonna watch my 2 lectures for the day, my 4 hours of lecture, whatever the case may be. It's 8 hours of lecture, whatever it is. Sometimes like that. I'm gonna watch my 8 hours of lecture. I'm gonna do like a bunch of practice questions, and that's gonna be my goal for the day. And I'm also gonna get a quick workout in at the gym. Boom, awesome, 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 awesome. That's what you want. You want that. You want to be able to do that. And so you have to just allow yourself to process it. Sometimes that means meditating on it. Sometimes that means trying to practice mindfulness on the topic. I remember when I when I was just starting meditation and I needed to like build myself back up, I was thinking a lot about my past failures. And I was thinking like, man, like I failed all these things. Can I even do anything in my life? Am I worthless? And I used to meditate. I used to sit down. I remember one time I was at this library near my school, the Rice University Library. You might know what Rice University is. It's like they call it the Ivy League of the South, the Ivy League of Texas. It's a really good school. I live very close to it. I used to go to the Rice University Library and study there for my MCAT, which is like the test you take before you go to med school. And I like sat in like the library. And I remember I literally walked someplace quiet. I sat down like in this desk, and it was facing like a bunch of the bookcases. I was sat down. I was facing one way. And I could see hella bookcases just laying there or standing there, or like not standing there, just like sat there. And I sat down and I was facing everything. I I closed my eyes and I just did that. And then I kept my eyes closed. And I remember I felt supremely peaceful. Even though I was contemplating all these like negative spirals and thought loops, these negative ideas and just feelings of doubt, I knew I could overcome it and I did. And in those moments, I really grew from it because I contemplated, I processed it. If you're constantly drowning out yourself and you're constantly drowning out all these negative feelings with like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat all the sugar, you might not even consciously do it. But if you are consciously doing it, or even if you're unconsciously doing it, whatever the case may be, you might not even be thinking like you're doing it, but you'll find yourself just gaining some weight because you're eating a bunch of sugar. That happened to me. All that happened to me a month ago, 2 months ago, because I recently suffered a pretty big loss too. So I'm telling you, like it's normal. It happens to everybody. I promise you. Don't be ashamed. I'm telling you, it happens. But that happened to me too. But it's about you have to have the awareness that you're doing it. You don't. You need to be aware of it. The person who is aware of it is infinitely times better than the guy who is just doing it out of like habit and doesn't even know he's doing it. The guy who's completely addicted to pornography or like insane amounts of sugar or like or just even like a good thing, like he's just so addicted to like the gym or something. The guy who is aware of it is the one who's going to perform better every single time because he's going to be the one who has the awareness, self-awareness, and the mindfulness to understand it. Even I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be addicted. It's not a bad thing to be addicted to the gym. I don't think. Maybe sometimes if you're overtraining, but like most of the time it's not a bad thing. But I'm telling you, the people who are like I know when I'm probably addicted to the gym right now, and I know it. I know I'm addicted to the gym. I overate a meal today like an hour or 2 hours before I recorded this, and I know it. I was eating and I was like, dude, I'm overeating shit, and I knew it. I went over my calories for the day. I was like, damn it, like that's a day where like I didn't go move forward in my goals. That's fine. At least I'm aware of it. At least I'm tracking my calories. I'm aware of it. If I'm not tracking my calories, how can you expect to make any progress in weight loss or your goals if you're not doing anything forward momentum, right? I lost weight so much faster when I was studying every day or like all day every day, like when I was in the heat of med school. Right now I'm not in the heat. Right now I'm in like a slow period. That's why I got to work on my business while I'm making these videos because I'm in a period of like recouping what's the word? Recuperance? Is that a word? Recuperance? No, just like recouping. I'm in a like a building phase, I guess you could say. Like recoup and then blast through next semester. That's my plan. And like that's the slow phase. So I'm not losing as much weight because I noticed I would lose so much weight fast when I was like so grinding school. And I can grind as much as I want now, but in the reality is I don't have that much to grind on. Like I can do questions, I can do this, I can do that, but it's not the same as when you're in the struggle of just every day more lectures, every day more things to do. So just give it time, you know. Give your body time to adjust to the mental strength and the mental battles you're fighting. Just give it a little bit of time because that's how you're gonna really succeed, you know? Oh man. Okay. Online, you might see videos where you'll see people saying, do this secret hack and I'll make you 1,000 times more productive. Brother, that is not real. That's not real. Do the secret hack and I'll get you a six pack in 2 days. No. That's not real. So as someone who's went down that rabbit hole multiple times and read multiple books about that, actually, like with that kind of title, I'm telling you, it's not the case. It doesn't. It's not. It's There's no magic pill. Don't listen to any of these people who try to sell you a magic pill. There's no magic pill. That's very just a brief fact. When you're in this situation, the way that I'm saying to build like this stuff, this aspects of your life, to build these things in your life that take time for, and you have to let it like adapt. That's a huge part of like building wealth in your life, building these different types of like growth in your life, right? Like there's multiple types of wealth. There's like the physical wealth, there's mental wealth, there's financial wealth, all these aspects of wealth. Right now, the main purpose of this video a lot of times has been physical wealth, because we're talking about the gym, we're talking about like tendon rupture and whatever. We're talking about all this stuff. Um, there's a really good book. It's a good book. Oh, here it is. It's a good book. It's not like it's not like groundbreaking. It's a nice book though. The Five Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. I've been reading it. You can see I'm almost done with it. Yeah, like right there. I'm almost done with it. Um, it's a good book, and it talks a lot in depth, a lot about these like five types of wealth and the different types of growth that you can grow, that you can have in these aspects. So that's just what I want to leave you with. If you want more kind of ideas about how to grow things, how to grow business, or how to grow things, I'm not probably not the best for business. I'm still in the newbie stages of growing my business, but I'm making good progress. I'm happy with it. But if you want like more advice on any of that, check out there's tons of books out there you can read. They'll give you tons of advice. If you want more ideas on like how to build like wealth in all areas of your life, check out that book, The Five Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. Super good book. I really recommend it. It's really good for like a beginner who's like getting into this stuff. I think when you're like me and you're a little more advanced, it's a little bit more like basic. But it's a good read to refresh yourself. If you are, I want to end this video off right now. If you are in medical school, or you're planning on going to medical school, and you're looking for something that will really like help you out when it comes to like how to study, or how to navigate this social life with clubs and being a leadership position, and making like maybe having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever the case may be, when you're in medical school, check out the first link in the description. It's my paid program. It's a huge invest. It's a not huge. It's a huge boost. It's a huge worth of investment, based on like what the actual thing is. I think the investment is really good. It's $10 a month. You can do a free trial right now. Go down right there, click the link, and then click on the free trial option right there. Just do the free trial, check it out. That's gonna be the best way to just check it out. You get access to Studying 101, which is a really good course. It outlines all the studying tips you need. So before you go to medical school, check it out. Then there's also like the stuff about the social gain. There's my guide to testing, all the stuff. PDF I have to change your life, all that stuff. If you just want the PDF on how to change your life, how to build all this stuff we're talking about, it'll also be in the description. Second link. It's a PDF. Check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Ooh, remember, guys. All right, see ya. Remember, my name is Rohan. Remember to stay calm, cool, and collected at all times. And I will catch you, my friend, in another video. Peace. Peace out.